Africa is rich. It's a continent overflowing with natural resources, from diamonds and gold to oil and coltan. Yet, for centuries, this wealth has been extracted, exploited, and used to enrich others. Colonial powers looted the continent, and while they may have left, the exploitation hasn't stopped. Today, multinational corporations, often with the backing of Western governments, continue to benefit from Africa's resources at the expense of its people. This is the story of modern-day exploitation in Africa. This isn't about some distant past. This is happening right now in 2024. We're talking about cobalt for our smartphones, oil fueling our cars, and chocolate satisfying our sweet tooth. All these things, often produced at a devastating human and environmental cost. This isn't just about economics, it's about power, it's about who controls the narrative, who sets the terms, and who ultimately benefits. For too long, the story of Africa has been told by others. It's time for Africans to take back their narrative and chart their own course. The Democratic Republic of Congo, a nation blessed with vast mineral wealth, yet cursed by conflict and poverty. The DRC produces over 70% of the world's cobalt, a key component in our smartphones, laptops, and electric car batteries. Demand is booming, but at what cost? The answer is found in the cramped, dangerous artisanal mines, where men, women, and even children risk their lives to extract cobalt. They work long hours in hazardous conditions, exposed to toxic dust and fumes for meager wages. These aren't isolated incidents, this is the norm. These mines are often controlled by armed groups, fueling a brutal conflict that has claimed millions of lives. While we enjoy the latest gadgets, families in the DRC are torn apart, children are denied an education, and communities are poisoned by pollution. This isn't just about cobalt, it's about the human cost of our insatiable appetite for technology. It's about the invisible hands that assemble our devices and the systems that allow this exploitation to continue. Nigeria, the giant of Africa, is a land of vibrant cultures and abundant oil reserves. Yet, this oil wealth has often felt more like a curse than a blessing. Decades of oil extraction have left a trail of environmental devastation and social unrest. In the Niger Delta, the heart of Nigeria's oil production, the air is thick with the stench of crude oil. Spills are commonplace, poisoning the water, destroying livelihoods, and causing respiratory illnesses. Fishing communities, once the lifeblood of the region, struggle to survive as their waters turn toxic. Meanwhile, multinational oil companies reap billions in profits, often operating with impunity and little accountability. Corruption is rampant, with local elites often complicit in the exploitation. The result is a cycle of poverty, violence, and resentment. This isn't just about oil. It's about the broken promises of development and the failure to distribute wealth equitably. It's about the environmental racism that allows such destruction to continue unabated. Land, the foundation of life, the source of sustenance, and in Africa, increasingly a source of conflict. Across the continent, vast tracts of land are being bought up by foreign governments and corporations, often for large-scale agriculture. This is land grabbing, and its consequences are devastating. Local communities, who have lived off the land for generations, are being evicted from their ancestral lands, often with little or no compensation. Their traditional farming practices, which have sustained them for centuries, are being replaced by industrial-scale monoculture, which depletes the soil and requires massive amounts of water and pesticides. The crops grown on this land are often destined for export, leaving local populations vulnerable to food shortages and price fluctuations. This isn't about feeding the world, it's about profit margins and global commodity markets. This isn't just about land, it's about food security, cultural identity, and the right to self-determination. It's about the neo-colonial practices that continue to dispossess Africans of their most valuable resource. Section 5. The Money Trail. The exploitation of Africa's resources isn't just happening on the ground, it's facilitated by a complex web of global financial systems. These systems, often designed by wealthy nations, enable multinational corporations and corrupt elites to extract wealth from Africa and stash it away in offshore accounts. Illicit financial flows, money illegally earned, transferred, or utilized, are draining billions of dollars from Africa each year. This is money that could be used to fund education, healthcare, and infrastructure, but instead it's siphoned off, enriching a select few. Tax havens, jurisdictions with minimal tax laws and high levels of financial secrecy play a key role in this system. They provide a safe haven for stolen assets and allow corporations to dodge taxes in the countries where they operate. This isn't just about money, it's about economic sabotage, robbing African nations of their rightful resources and hindering their ability to develop. It's about demanding greater transparency and accountability in the global financial system. Section 6. A legacy of resistance. The story of Africa's exploitation is often told as one of victimhood, but that's only part of the story. Throughout history, Africans have resisted exploitation and fought for control of their resources. From the anti-colonial struggles of the 20th century to the present day, the spirit of resistance burns bright. Across the continent, communities are organizing, protesting, and taking legal action against land grabs, mining operations, and oil spills. They are demanding fair compensation, environmental justice, and a say in how their resources are managed. Civil society organizations are playing a crucial role, raising awareness, documenting human rights abuses, and advocating for policy changes. They are using the power of information and technology to expose corruption and hold corporations accountable. This isn't just about fighting back, it's about reclaiming agency, asserting sovereignty, and demanding a seat at the table. It's about the unwavering belief in a better future for Africa. Section 7. Seeds of Hope. Amidst the stories of exploitation, there are also seeds of hope taking root. Across Africa, a new generation of entrepreneurs, activists, and innovators are working to create a more sustainable and equitable future. They are harnessing technology, promoting local solutions, and building businesses that benefit their communities. In the renewable energy sector, African countries are leading the way with solar, wind, and geothermal projects. This is not only providing clean energy, but also creating jobs and reducing dependence on fossil fuels. In agriculture, there is a growing movement towards sustainable farming practices and supporting local food systems. This is empowering smallholder farmers, improving food security, and preserving traditional knowledge. This isn't just about innovation, it's about reclaiming control, building resilience, and creating a future where Africa's resources benefit its people. It's about the power of hope to inspire change. Section 8. A call to action. The exploitation of Africa's resources is a global issue that demands a global response. We cannot stand by and watch as this injustice continues. We all have a role to play in creating a more just and equitable world. As consumers, we can make ethical choices about the products we buy, supporting companies that prioritize sustainability and fair labor practices. We can demand greater transparency from corporations and hold them accountable for their action. As citizens, we can pressure our governments to enact policies that promote responsible investment, combat illicit financial flows, and support African-led development initiatives. This isn't just about charity, it's about justice, accountability, and recognizing our interconnectedness. It's about understanding that our choices have consequences and that we have the power to make a difference. Section 9. Towards a brighter future. The path ahead won't be easy. It will require sustained effort, collaboration, and a willingness to challenge the status quo. But a brighter future for Africa is within reach. It's a future where Africa's resources are used to benefit its people, where its economies are thriving, and where its citizens have equal opportunities to succeed. This future is being built by Africans every single day. It's being built by the farmers who are revitalizing their land, the entrepreneurs who are creating jobs, and the activists who are demanding justice. It's a future where Africa is no longer seen as a continent to be exploited, but as an equal partner in global development. This isn't just a dream, it's a vision that is already being realized. It's a testament to the resilience, creativity, and determination of the African people. It's a source of hope, not just for Africa, but for the entire world. Section 10. Conclusion. Reclaiming Africa's narrative. The exploitation of Africa's resources is a complex issue with deep historical roots. But it's not a story without hope. Africans are not passive victims. They are actively resisting, innovating, and building a better future for themselves and their continent. It's time for the world to listen to African voices, to support African solutions, and to stand in solidarity with the people of Africa as they reclaim their narrative and shape their own destiny. The future of Africa is bright, and it's time for the world to see it.